Hey guys, I'm back with the Coke machine here. Had a request, actually a couple of questions on various things, so I thought I'd go ahead and go through a rotor disassembly and motor disassembly, maybe show loading too, but let's get started. We got a couple of do's in there. Let's do, let's take number two. Take number two apart. We'll pull the rotor out, get the cans out, and then maybe we'll use what other drinks are still in here to show a little reloading. This cap holds the assembly on. It's T15 Torx. Oh, don't want to lose the bits. This is the drive rotor. You see the gear end. Unplug the two wires on the bottom of the coil. There's your drive coil with the brake. Now we're going to need to take these off. Actually, might be able to get by this one. It won't clear here. Let's take this off and get it out of the way. Then there's 4 Phillips screws that hold this on here. Make sure that thing is unplugged, because all of these contact points have 120 volt AC on them, and it will bite you. That one's not playing. And you can stay there. Whoops! I popped the drink loose. That one's peeing everywhere. The rotor dropped them both. That one is fine. Look how I didn't have a whole column. Let me clean up this mess now. Alright. All the screws are going to come out. They wouldn't come out before. One. Alright, so here's the rotor assembly. And that's basically all that does. Two screws here holding the retaining plate in. There's a plate also in the back that holds the other end of the rotor, which you can't really see. You don't need to take that out. But there's a pin and a plastic bushing in it. The pin of the rotor slides into that bushing. That's what holds the other end out. Let's get out of the way. Okay. Take the retaining plate off. Yep, that's it up here. Now we can just pull that right out. Get this clip up level. Turn the clip. Probably could use a little bit of grease on it. This is where that plastic split bushing is. That's a little dry too. I'll put a little silicone grease on that too. Let's get the rotor over here. Now this is the part here where the drive motor, there's a gearbox in here, the motor spins. Gear inside of here. To get this out, I have to pull the plates off the cams, and we'll have to, if you can see, we'll need to take the cams off. It's a good opportunity to take a picture of the orientation to each other and alignment of this pin, because we'll need to put it back the same way. And to make it easier, I'm going to take a picture. Now all of these wires are numbered. As long as you note the number and the orientation, picking them back up. The reds always go in the inner switch, and the whites go on the outer switches. Because it won't work right if you don't get them in the right orientation when you put them back. We just want to take the ones off that are on the harness. Which looks like it's going to be all three of them. And they'll kind of stay in the same order. See. Let's go take this apart. Alright, let's get this thing apart. You're going to need a T15 and a Phillips. Screws. Nope. Not too big. Looks like I need a numbered 0. These switches will come out as a stack. Keep them together. And see if we can get that gasket insulator. Put it back on like that. Now let's get the gearbox off the mounting plate. Actually, why is that pin? Tap that pin out of there. I don't know if it's a pin or a drill bit. That's weird. I guess we can go ahead and take the off. Get it out of the way so I'm not hitting it. Everything has plastic bushings. Get off there. Flat screwdriver. And a roll punch. That's just going to spread the metal out. I don't know if I've got a punch that small. Ready to go. Oh great, now I get to find the roll pin. Definitely not an ideal driver. I don't have a T15 handle driver. This will work. There you go. It's some really old grease. Definitely needs new grease in here. Would definitely run better. Alright. Let's see if we can get this pin out. Get these gears out first, I guess, because they're just going to start falling out. Yeah, I'll clean those up in a minute. Once again, if you're not familiar, take a picture of the gear drive orientation. They'll only go back together one way though, so it's kind of hard to mess it up. Some old sticky grease. That's just like a solidified blob of it right here. you go. That's what drives the whole thing. It's so corroded. Let's let that sit and see what it does. Flip it over, tap it, flip it over, tap it. Try and get it loose. Doesn't look like it's moving. It really needs to be supported better. I really don't want to heat that. I wonder. Yeah, that's what I figured. So that gear's pressed on. That's actually what was slipping on the other, was this gear losing its grip. That actually is soft aluminum right there, the hub is. And what I did was took a roll punch. It's got a little dome in the middle. Went around and tapped all the way around, pushing the metal up and in towards the center where the shaft is. Don't know that I want to tap that out. Really need to take it out the other way. But I may not be able to get retaining pin out. Let's see, what can we do? Soaking it hasn't helped. Let's soak it again. I can't really put heat on it, I'll melt the gear. Give it another soak, and then I'll take it over to the little vise on the bench and give it some support right here. And we'll tap straight down to give a little more direct force down through the pin. Let's take it open a little bit. See if we can't support plastic. That end's tapered, so it needs to go out this way. But it doesn't want to move. Let's try the big one. seem to hold. All it's doing is mushrooming the end. I don't think that's ever going to come out. It's been in there so long. I can't heat it, I'll melt the plastic. Well, we got a couple of options. I mean, you can tell that there's a little bit of wear in the bushing on this one. You could cut this off or heat it to get the pin out and then replace the cam. They're still available. Or you just leave it. More than likely, the issue is going to be right here in this aluminum hub. But basically, what you want to do is take the punch and drive the metal towards the shaft like that. Go ahead and do this one. Won't hurt. Keep it from slipping later. Not too much. I mean, it needs to be able to slip if something gets hung up. But that's how you gotta go around, tap it just enough to, so if you grab the gear, you shouldn't. Actually, let's put. You can see how much of a gear reduction that motor gets for extra torque. Yeah, I can't move it, which is good. Then we'll re-grease all these with some new grease. No, this thing had axle grease in it, but I'm going to use Moly just because of the amount of torque these gears see when they're running. There we go. I reckon that's, where's the drive tooth? Where is the drive rotor? It's in there, okay. Well, I guess we'll find out when we go to put it all back together if the rotor touches or not. The rotor has to drive this gear right here, this it, and that drives all these intermediary gears, but it drives the small gear, large to small to large to small to large. hand tight. I'll grab the rotor. Yep. Just a little bit of turning going on there. And it's got moly grease. Let's put a little bit more. Dawn and Yonder. Alright, clean it up a little. We'll put it back together. Orient that thing up. Get that pin back in there. The smooth end goes in, and then there's a fluted end that's on the back side. That's what locks it in. We'll drive the smooth end first. Till it goes all the way through right there. That's all you need. Silicone grease right here. The reason I use silicone is it won't eat the plastic. Kind of see from the screw indentation there where this goes back. It was starting to slide out, but I'm not going to beat on it anymore. Switches. Two little posts right there. I'll make sure that these are either you're at an opening or they're pulled back before you screw it down, otherwise you'll bend them up. Pull that bushing off there. Put a little silicone grease on it. Get it back on there with one hand. There we go. Oops. Line it up in the back. It's really hard to see. Right there, right? There it is, right there. Okay. Up. Trying to do this with the camera in the way. Let me move you just a little bit. Come over there. Again, it's in the way. Let me flip this. There we go. It's out of the way. Screen was in the way. That needs to go there. So this needs to go up like so. Kind of move things around so it lines up. Alright, now let's get those top two screws back in. Still have one screw in my eye. Everything's turning smoothly like it should. Going back and forth. Still missing the other bottom screw. Well, I'll find it later. That's good enough for now. Alright, now we need to remount the motor. And all of that will have to go on at the same time as rotor and cap. Okay, it's got to go this way. Well, that one's so tight. It might be a piece of fabric or something from the shop rag. I don't know. Alright, so this goes to this motor. And then we gotta hook these back up. Now there's two lower and one upper. There's two lower and then one upper on the side. There we go. Alright, let's get started on. Oh, we gotta hook the motor back up. Forgot this too. No. On my thumb. One on that side and one on this side. If I can get it. Okay, got it. They're loose. Let's see if I can get you down inside. Normal operation. All back together and working. Now, Let's load it. Just like down here. That'll work. Alright, so let me grab one. So there's the vent out plate. There's a switch under here that it pushes against. So as you can see up here where I've got the depth set at. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Larger positions back from the front is where I have my double column set. And you basically just grab that and that, you squeeze them, that pulls these two things in, and then you can move it back and forth. So first one to load goes in the back. It's going to drop all the way down to the bottom, and we want the bottom of the can facing. And depending on where your rotor is, as you can see right now, it's sitting up above the rotor. We want it in the rotor, so let's advance it one. Hopefully it doesn't come flying out. Alright. That is now sitting on the bottom bar of that. That actually is a bottle / can rotor. It'll do both 16-ounce bottles or 12-ounce cans. Now we want the next one to be on the same level. We want butt to butt, so you want the top facing. Those are the two that'll, well, those will be the first two served, but on the top of the stack, that'll be the two that you never get because the vent plate is out. The next one will be in the back. Again, butt facing you, the other side. Now it's sitting on top of the rotor for the second level. Now I need to get some more cans. All right. Next one, again, top facing you. It is now pushing the flapper for the vent out in. So now you'll be able to actually get one. As soon as you dispense it, the one in the back is going to drop, and it may or may not let the paddle come forward. So you may either end up with 3 in there you can't get, or 2 you can't get without opening the door. Other side, against the back plate, butt first. Top facing. Rinse and repeat. One more in here. This double column on this 90 series Dixie Narco will hold 48 cans. It'll hold 4 12 packs, 4 12 packs, 4 12 packs. And you can get, I think 24, I think you can get 2 12 packs in here, single can, double depth, at the same backplate distance. And those, see if I can get the light over there. That's a half moon rotor down there. You see how the rotor is solid. That's typically for bottles only, but you can use cans on it. It has a, see that notch cut in the front? You can see black space down there. That will allow one can to drop half cycle, which is how the cam is set on these. And it has a gray cam and not a red cam, because this is set to do double can the way it's positioned. But, if you guys want to see more operation of that, that is actually the one that I had to take apart and recrimp. It's been working fine, number 4. I'll do one of those and show you the rotor. It's the same process as the 2-bar combo rotors for bottle and can, but I always leave one pushed against the back. You can try leaving it pushed against the front, but typically when you get that far down, there's not enough weight on the paddle to keep it pushed in. It'll just slide the can back a little bit and you still can't get it. So let them how you want. Let's test it real quick. Let me put you in the stand. We'll test it with the door closed. Actually, we'll show it then. You know what? I wonder if I can prop you up under with the light. Hang on. So let's go flying down. All right, next one.